Hi guys, welcome back to the workshop. I'm Nick Reeves, and in this video we are looking at this kit of parts here, which is going to turn into what I believe is called a mini FlyMe. This kit has been provided by Tim Hobbins at Hobbins Hobbies. I bought it for Ewan to have a go at control line flying. I have got some other kits behind me which I'm going to build for control line flying, but this is one that I saw that looked really simple to build and quick to build as well. So in this video I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what's actually in the kit as I've received it, and then see about making a start and putting it together. So first things first, what is actually in the kit? Well, a lot of it is quite impressive in the fact that it's all laser cut. You've got everything you need, I think, to build the airframe apart from glue. Tim did supply some mylar covering, but I'm not actually going to use that. I'm going to use iron-on covering for this one. You get the plan, CAD drawn plan and annotated plan. You get a pre-shaped leading edge. You get a leading edge stiffener, if that's what you want to call it. This is bass. This is like a centre section support. I believe this is the trailing edge. Pretty rough cut, but for what we need it for, it should be fine. Bike spoke push rod, centre section trailing edge, an elevator, laser cut. That's quarter ply, and that's quarter balsa and 1/8 balsa elevator. You get all the ribs. You get like a pack of centre ribs, which is made up of 2 quarter balsa and 1/8 ply ribs, and then you've got 6 ribs, 3 per side for the rest of them, all nicely laser cut. Engine mount comes pre-made. I had to specify what engine I was using because the spacings are obviously critical. In my case, I'm using a Pt1 1.5, so Tim's spaced them for the 1.5. So that's, by the looks of it, beach bearers, 1/2 inch by something else. Not quite sure what size that is, but it'll be enough. There's a slight taper on that, I've just noticed. That'll be alright. So that's the engine mount. 2, I think these are balsa wingtips, laser cut at 1/4. Pre-made fuel tank. Bell crank mount. A couple of other bits and pieces of light ply. Loads and loads and loads of gussets. There's 2 pieces of what look like 64th ply, which are the elevator horn reinforcement. And then in the little bag there is a bell crank, elevator horn, there's lead out wire, lead out ferrules, some nuts and bolts I'm guessing for the bell crank, some self-tapping screws, I'm not quite sure what they're for. Yeah, there's a fair bit of hardware in there, and I think from memory it was 30 quid, which isn't bad for what you get, the amount of time he's put into it. So first things first, it's going to be a case of getting a centre line marked on the leading edge, so we get everything lined up off that, and then same with the bass strip, and get that glued up, laminated on there, probably the epoxy, and to make it all nice and strong. So I should come back to you in a bit when we do that. Right then, so got the leading edge epoxied up with the stiffener behind the bass stiffener. That's all nice and straight. And then I've got the centre rib laminated together. Both of them are done with hour curing epoxy, just give me maximum working time. So the next job is going to be getting the plan out, getting something down onto the plan to protect it. And once this lot's cured, basically get the wing together. Shouldn't take too long, but I'll come back to you the next part of the video for that. Okay, so the leading edge piece is all glued up, centre rib is all glued together. Now I have made a mistake with this. I thought I doubled and triple checked it, but obviously still got it wrong. The ply rib should be on the inside. Now the way I've got the laminations put together, it means the bell crank, like that, is going to be on the top. Tim said it should be on the bottom. So to put it on the bottom, it's just not going to work now. So to my mind, it's not a major problem having the bell crank on the top. It'll still work. So as you can also see, I've got the plan down. I've put a sticky back plastic onto the plan so nothing should stick to it, make the plan last a bit longer. Maybe I can build another one from it. What I've got to do now is start adding things to the leading edge. Now the one thing which I've been thinking about is how do I get things square and true. So I'm actually going to put together the centre section off the leading edge. Now these pieces, these are light ply, 3mm light ply. They sit, and one sandwiches the bell crank mount and the other one goes the other side to form something like that, and then that then glues to the leading edge. What I need to do now, these pieces are 90 degrees here, so that'll give me the square against the leading edge like that. What I need to do is put these together. I'll epoxy them all together and then just lightly sand the leading edge of the ribs to match the bell crank mount. So that should be good. So some epoxy. So that's what is now the top bell crank mount and support in place. So that's 5mm epoxy that's on there, so that'll just take a few moments to go off. And then I'll put the same piece, epoxy that onto the bottom, let it all go off hard, possibly even take it into the house to give it a bit more warmth so it goes off properly. And then be able to sand the front here, get it all squared up, and then offer it up to the leading edge. So the centre rib assembly is now all dried, cured from the epoxy, still maybe a little bit soft. I've sanded the end so it's nice and flush and square. So now what I've got to do is glue it onto the leading edge. Again, I'll probably use epoxy, sit it this way up somehow, not quite sure how yet, and then while it's gluing, just use an engineer's square. See if you can see that a bit better. You see out there? Just sit it nice and square, let the epoxy go off. That'll be good. What I've done is I've actually put a centre mark on there, and I put a centre mark on the leading edge so I know where centre is. I just need to get it all lined up. So I'll mix up some epoxy and get that on. Okay, so the centre rib, I have to be very gentle here because it's still soft. Centre rib is now glued onto the leading edge. We should be able to see that it should be glued on quite nicely. The centre stiffener is a little bit undersized, but I'm not too worried about it. So that will be left to dry now and fully cure. And then in the next video on this build, we'll see about getting it onto the plan and getting other bits and pieces added onto it and turn it into more of a wing. So if you're liking this sort of thing, subscribe down the bottom corner, tick the bell, you get notification when videos are put up. All comments below are read and listened to and replied to. I'll put details in the description as to where this kit has come from, and I'll hopefully see you next time.